What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian and Happy New Year, Evertonians. In this piece of content, we're going to have a little bit of everything. I didn't get a chance yesterday to do my final summary, so we're going to cover the remarkable 2-0 away win against Nottingham Forest. That's 5 goals that we've scored against Sean Dyche and not conceded. Jake O'Brien for me at centre half, the centre half that Sean Dyche failed to ever start. I don't think he did anyway. Constantly sat on the bench, was absolutely unbelievable. Him and Tarkowski, absolute superb at centre half. So we're going to cover the final summary of that game. The transfer window's open, Blues. Harrison Armstrong has returned. So, much needed. I feel sorry a little bit for Preston because he were doing so well there, and obviously they regard him as it's hard, it's difficult when you bring a player in on loan at that time. You regard him as your own. He's putting on that shirt, and unfortunately, Everton have got around 8 or 9 players missing, and we need him. They've brought back Martin Sheriff as well, young lad, young striker. Obviously, he's going to be there on the bench ready for Brentford the weekend on Sunday. So we're going to have a pre-match review as well against Brentford. So just going back to the Forest game at the City Ground, Blues, I covered a lot in that video, but we were superb. Defensively, I thought, I've watched a bit of content on other channels and stuff, and some people's remarks on certain players. I thought everybody were at it. Football ain't all about so much what you do. It is what you do on the ball, of course it is, but it's what you do off the ball, what counts, what can get you results. And Everton just really galvanised himself. David Moyes must have worked wonders in the team talk, the halftime team talk, because Everton were just on it. We were at it. The Burnley game, we were awful. We were really poor. And I've said in previous content, Blues, Everton are on this roller coaster. And we've got 2 fixtures coming up before the FA Cup tie against Sunderland, where look, we've got Brentford who we're playing tonight. They're 2 points behind us. Very close. I think Brentford have surprised a lot of people. When they lost the manager and they brought Keith Andrews in, I don't think anyone expected them to do as well as they've done. And they've got some talent. They really have. Keane Lewis Potter. I like that lad. I think he'd be. Listen, I'm not on here just to talk about players who were not linked with, but that lad is the ilk and the type of player that I personally would want. He can do a job on the left wing. He can play, left back. He can play as a wing back. Very, very good. I think he's got a couple of goals already this season and an assist. 24 years of age. And that's the type of player I personally think Everton should be going for, who could, really mould himself and cement himself into the future of Everton at the left back, and also just be an option to play out wide left as well. If Jack Grealish is ever injured, and obviously we're hoping that Jack signs full time. And obviously, I don't think I've said in previous content again, Blues. I'd love it if Everton could get it done in this window. But it's probably highly unlikely. Likely, I think we'll probably wait until the end of the season to try and get that done. End of the day, I think City are going to want to raise capital now for if they're going to be signing the lad from Bournemouth in Semenyo. So there's a lot, Blues. I'm happy that Harrison Armstrong for us has come back though. Go straight into the squad the weekend. Much needed, like I've stated. There's around 8 or 9 players that are missing. We've heard news that Iliman Ndiaye's potentially picked up an ankle injury, and he's having a scan today. So we're going to hear. I'm hoping it's not bad news there. I'm hoping he's still going to be ready, even to play for Senegal. I really hope Idrissa and Nili can achieve something big for the country and win the AFCON. I really, really do. not in a selfish capacity that they get knocked out and they come back. Listen, if that happens, it happens. We need those players. And Everton need players for me in this transfer window. Blues, let me know in the comments, who would you like Everton to sign in this window? You know, I've just mentioned the Lewis Potter. I don't think we've had any links with that lad, but that is the type of player I would want. You know, obviously we've been linked with strikers like Ivan Toney. We've been linked with Conor Gallagher. We've been linked with is it Bogle from Leeds United. Um, and obviously there as a right back. We saw Nathan Patterson put in a shift the other night. Listen, I was worried when I saw his name on the team sheet. I was worried when I saw that Everton had Alcaraz injured, even though Alcaraz hasn't been playing well lately. But the squad depth getting like depleted as it is. Michael Keane, who's been so good, you know, defensively for us, really, really good, and he's popped up with some goals. So to lose obviously Keane as well, you know, we were down to the bare bones, Blues, and I'm so proud of that Everton team getting over the line there. I really, really am. It wasn't going to be an easy game for us, even with, you know, those players like the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall and Njai. It's a tough game for us, but you know, like I've said, it's 5 goals against Sean Dyche, Nottingham Forest, and obviously 2 wins in around 3 weeks. You know, 3 weeks between each game. So yeah, Blues, it's going to be a tough game on Sunday, 3 p.m. at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. You know, we have to start how we started against Forest because I thought we started really well, and we have to if if we're not on the ball as much because obviously we've got the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall injured, who is a fantastic ball carrier, really good on the ball. Um, you know, in those attacking areas, we have to find a way. We saw Tieno Barry, I feel, change his game up. He's even said in interviews that he's been watching Romelu Lukaku, and he was very reminiscent of Rom. He was pulling off to the left, he was pulling off to the right, he was trying to get the ball a little bit deeper and driving with it. And what that did, it allowed other players, especially in the wide areas, find central pockets like Tyler. More so Dwight McNeil, he was shifting across a lot more when Tieno was doing that. He drifted more over to the centre, to the right-hand side, that what gave him the assist for Jimmy Gardner. So there was a lot of interchanging, there was a lot of doubling up done, and they worked really hard to get the 3 points there. So we need to see something similar. You know, even though obviously we're at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, we're expected to take it to Brentford. But, you know, we have to find ways. We have to find ways of getting these results. And, you know, we are doing, Blues. And that is the important thing. When I think back to the game against Man United, you know, again, that was a game where the chips were down. Idrissa Gana Gueye getting sent off. We're on like the 13th minute, something like that. You know, to get that goal from Keenan Dewsbury Hall, superb strike, and to hold out Man United at Old Trafford, you know, we made them look really, really poor that night. And that for me is not so much because of them. I think it's because of the work that Everton did off the ball defensively. You know, balls into the box, so many balls getting pumped into the box against Forest, and Tarky and Jake O'Brien dealt with them so well. Blues, I honestly feel the future is bright at centre half for us. When Jared Branthwaite gets back fit, you know, you've got the potential future partnership there with Jake O'Brien. I really rate that lad. I think he's a superb defender. He looks very comfortable at centre half, more so than he does at right back. So it takes me to onto the team sheet, Blues. It's going to be a difficult one, this, because we haven't got the presser. We don't know the injuries to Alcaraz, what type of injury. Moyes hasn't given anything away. Michael Keane as well. You know, and it's how Nathan Patterson has recovered from the 60 minutes, 70 minutes that he did. You know, so it's a shame because honestly, like we've wanted things to work out for Patterson. And I think he does show glimpses of an attacking fullback. Um, he likes to produce triangles. He likes to get the ball, pass it, and go. And you can see that. He likes to form triangles, and I saw a lot of that happening with Tyler Diblin. He had a bit of chemistry out there. So could we see Nathan Patterson again at right back? Could we see Tarky and Jake O'Brien, Mikalenko left back? Timmy Raburum, I think, has been superb for us Blues. I've always rated that lad. When I look at Onana going to Villa, what he offers, very similar to, Idrissa Gana Gueye for me, in interceptions and, ball recoveries, defensive tackles. But what Timmy Raburum offers as well, we've seen him like recovering the ball really well, some really good slide tackles and really good on the ball. And I think he's only going to improve, Blues. I've got a mate who played against him in the championship when he was at QPR, and he said, honestly, he is class. He's going to be a top player. And he's young, and we've got to get behind these young players, Blues. Same Harrison Armstrong coming back. We've got to be patient with him, moving up a level in Premier League status. He's only 18 years of age. I think he turns 19 this month. So it's going to be good to have him back on the bench. But you never know, he might even get a start. Where we're at, Jimmy Gardner, superb. Honestly, that lad is, for me, already his player of the year for Everton this season. He is knocking on the door to play for England for me. Tuchel has to be looking at this lad. If the Forest lad's getting in, Anderson, then Jimmy Gardner should be getting in. Jack Grealish, let's hope he's recovered from the flu. He didn't look well. When I saw him, he didn't look out well. But he came on. But I wouldn't be surprised if Moyes keeps the same team. I wouldn't be surprised. Personally, I'd like to see Jack back on the left, Tyler Diblin on the right, and Merlin Rowe given the opportunity again in that 10 role. Merlin is magic. I like that lad. I know we've not seen a lot of him yet, but he covers a lot of ground. He really does. He looks a fit lad. And obviously, he's the type of player as well who can adopt multiple positions. I think they've said he's played in every single position by goalkeeper. And obviously, filled in at right back when Nathan Patterson went off as well. For me, he doesn't wear the 9 on the back of the shirt, but he is our number 9. Tieno Barry got his second goal for Everton. If you look at it now, Blues, he's had the ball in the back of the net around 4 times. A couple of offsides, margins by them as well. He's getting better. His link-up play is good. His touch is good. He looks like he's getting stronger to me. He's not going down as easy. And it's going to take him a while, but we have to stay patient. We're there and thereabouts, Blues. We're chipping away. We're 8th in the league. These 2 games at Hill Dickinson, there's some big points for us there. If we get behind the Blues and we find a way, we can get 6 points for me. We can go and get 6 points, Blues. So let me know your thoughts. Again, Blues, the transfer window's open. Who would you like in? Come on, Everton. We need to bring some players in. And obviously, I've heard rumours as well. If Everton do get the players back, like Keenan Dewsbury Hall, and obviously Iliam and Njai comes back and he's fit with Idrissa Gana Gueye after the AFCON, and Everton potentially bringing some players that Harrison Armstrong can go back to Preston and fulfil his season there. And obviously that'll help them. It'll help him if he's playing every single week. I think he's already played about 17 or 18 games this season for Preston. But we need him now. We're down to the bare bones and we need him now. So again, Blues, Happy New Year. Thanks for all your support on my channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that bell to turn on post notifications. I don't think I'm missing anything there. I've covered quite a bit. Obviously, like I said, I didn't have a chance to do the final summary, and yeah, it is what it is, Blues. So we're back now, and we're into 2026, Massive year ahead. Let's keep getting behind them Blues. Let's keep getting behind David Moyes. He's doing a fantastic job. He really, really is. Look where we were 2 years ago to look where we are now. Do you know what I mean? So we're on the cusp of the wave, and we're on this roller coaster, and we're doing well. We're finding ways, and let's get some big points these next two games. I believe going into that FA Cup tie. Let's get maximum points. Let's get 6 points. Up the toffees. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you blue boys.